Hey guys, what is going on? I hope you all are doing well today. My name is Elliot. Welcome back to the Fragrance Well. Today we are going to be going over my weekly fragrance rotation for the week of May, what was it? Hang on. May 28th, sorry. Yes, weekly fragrance rotation for the week of May 28th. This is my second episode of this. So we're gonna go over what I wore and why I chose what I wore. We'll talk about it right now. Alright guys, let's go ahead and get it started. So for Sunday, I chose to wear Mustache from the House of Rokas, the Eau de Parfum concentration. Rokas Mustache Eau de Parfum. This fragrance is pretty well known for being very similar to YSL's Tuxedo. It's spicy, it's woody, and it is quite sweet as well. Features notes like mandarin orange, pink pepper, cedar, rose, benzoin, and patchouli. Why did I choose to wear this fragrance? Well, I was playing drums at a wedding ceremony, so I thought this would be a nice time to break this one out. This is one I've been wanting to wear more frequently. For whatever reason, I keep overlooking it, but when I thought about that, what I was gonna wear for that wedding ceremony, I'm like, well, I wanna wear something a little more upscale. I tend to like to do that for those types of occasions, and I looked down and saw this. I'm like, you know what? We're gonna give Mustache a wear. Wore very nicely on my skin. It was very, very cold in the building I was playing in, so I didn't have to worry about sweating or anything like that, even though it was quite a hot day outside. I didn't have to play drums very heavily at all. Matter of fact, I played very lightly, so I wasn't sweating or anything like that. Fragrance wore very nicely, smelled great off of my skin. Really enjoyed wearing it, need to give it more wears. At some point though, I do think I am going to pick up YSL's Tuxedo. I have smelled it before. While this is very close to it, I definitely can pick out, mainly a quality difference between the two, and I think I just want to have Tuxedo. All that being said, yeah, that was my wear for Sunday, Mustache Eau de Parfum. Alright, moving on to Monday. I didn't wear anything on Monday because I had a very long weekend of gigs and I wanted to rest, and that included my nose. I did shoot some videos that day, so I was like, I'm gonna be smelling stuff anyway. So I didn't wear anything on Monday. Let that be a note. Sometimes it is good to just take a break from wearing a fragrance, let your nose have a chance to not be constantly smelling anything, and give it a chance to reset so you can get back to wearing your fragrances and experiencing them without any sort of nose fatigue, if you will. Just my opinion. So yeah, Monday, didn't wear anything. Moving on to Tuesday. All right, and so Tuesday's fragrance is going to be coming from the House of Nashane. This is Ani. Nashane's Ani. This is a fragrance I've talked about in previous videos, particularly as one that I wasn't really sure how I felt about it. It was kind of an on-the-fence fragrance for me. I would pick it up and smell it often, but in one day I would be like, oh man, I love the way that smells. The next one I'd be like, I don't know if I ever want to wear this. Well, I gave it a wear this past Tuesday. Went kind of light on the sprays. This fragrance is quite spicy, very, very sweet. Even though it was kind of warm out, I decided to wear it. Went light on the sprays, and you know what? I enjoyed wearing it. I'm gonna wear it more often. I'm starting to come around to this fragrance a little bit more and more every time I kind of revisit it. Some of the featured notes are bergamot, green notes, ginger, cardamom, blackcurrant, rose, vanilla, benzoin, and musk. Every time I smell this, I just think of like a high quality sugar cookie for some reason. I don't know why that's what the image that pops in my mind, but it is. What was I doing this day? I had to work, and I had to travel to my work destination, which was a 6-hour drive. So I knew I was gonna be riding for a very long time. So I'm like, you know what? Give me something that's gonna last all day so I can really kind of experience something throughout the entirety of the day. And I figured, hey, this is a good time to give this a test wear. Well, not a test wear, just give it a full wear and see how I feel about it. And as I mentioned before, I enjoyed wearing it. Like I said, I went light on the spray so it didn't overwhelm me, especially since it was quite warm that day. And you know what? I'm starting to come around to this. This is a great fragrance from this house. I really enjoy the House of Nashane in general. They make really good stuff. So Tuesday's wear was Nashane's Ani. I might be wearing this a little bit more often. Alright, so moving on to Wednesday's wear. This is coming from the House of Dior, Dior Homme Original. Dior Homme Original. Now this is the latest iteration of the original Dior Homme featuring the iris. Let me tell you, man, I love this fragrance. I knew I was going to give this more wears primarily when I was at work. So I was actually in my actual work environment, not traveling to work. So I have to be a little bit cautious about what I'm wearing because I'm in a medical environment and I'm around patients. So I don't want to wear anything that might, trigger sinuses with them or anything like that. But I love wearing this. I love the iris, obviously, but also has a clean soapiness to it. I think primarily coming from lavender and sage that I just love with this fragrance. It's just so good. Also features notes like bergamot, cocoa, amber, cardamom, vetiver, leather, and patchouli. The leather in this is not overly heavy. It's definitely there though. I love how it combines with the patchouli on the dry down, just makes it nice and pleasant and warm, even though it is a kind of a fresher iteration of a iris fragrance. This isn't necessarily an all day fragrance, but it's definitely a fragrance that, you know, can get you through your working hours, if you will. I did respray it because I had to travel back home, so I resprayed it on once I was done actually doing what I needed to do in my work environment. And I just really enjoy wearing this scent. So once again, for Wednesday, I went with Dior Homme Original. All right, so on to Thursday's wearing. I went with Xerjoff Cosmarati Mephisto Gentil Uomo. Mephisto Gentil Uomo. This one here is very heavy on the citrus, so it is quite fresh, has a little bit of sweetness to it, a little bit of a floral vibe, and quite a bit of musk in it as well. Features notes like lemon, bergamot, lavender, grapefruit, violet, iris, rose, amber, cedarwood, and musk. So on Thursday, it was a warm day, but not too hot. However, it's been raining quite a bit here where I live in Central Florida, so the humidity has been quite high. So I went with this because it is a fresher option. Also, it's a new pickup, so you know I need to give it some more wears. Also, I was just running a couple of errands that day. I was gonna run some more, but I ended up only running just a couple of them, mainly because the rain showed up and also for other various reasons. But I really like this fragrance. Like I said, I had gotten a sample of this in a previous video. I mentioned I got a sample of this through another purchase and I really enjoyed it. Really pops off my skin, gives a nice kind of gentlemanly freshness to it. The amber, not the amber, but the musk in here is quite forward. I really enjoy how that comes across when it is warmer outside. So this is what this was. It doesn't last all day long. It's not a beast mode fragrance at all. By the end of the day, it had faded quite a bit, and by nighttime, it was definitely completely gone, which is fine because I just come back home and I was just kind of chilling at home. I didn't really do anything else that day, so I didn't really have to have anything on. So yeah, this is a good, just daytime, gentlemanly, fresh, clean fragrance. Really good offering from this house. Mephisto Gentil Uomo from the house of Xerjoff Cosmarati line. All right, guys, so we are on to the wear for Friday. Friday, I didn't really do anything. This was pretty much a test day for a new fragrance I recently picked up, and that fragrance is from the house of Zaharoff. This is Second Soul. Zaharoff Second Soul, fingerprint magnet, literally a mirror on the front of the fragrance, so you're just seeing everything. Yep, so got this in earlier this week, so I wanted to give it a full test wear, and I did, and let me tell you what, I really enjoyed it. This fragrance has quite a bit of freshness, quite a bit of spiciness to it. It's very green, very woody. Kind of reminds me of the old school kind of barbershop style fragrance, but giving it a new school flair with it as well. Really enjoyed wearing this. Some of the featured notes are bergamot, cardamom, juniper, clary sage, geranium, myrrh, tobacco, cedarwood, and labdanum. This is a very complex fragrance. First of all, it is an extrait de parfum. It does pop off my skin for quite a while, and it definitely lasted all day long. I sprayed it on first thing in the morning, and it was there well into the nighttime. So very good performing fragrance. This fragrance is made in collaboration with Zaharoff and Stay Fresh Productions, aka Justin Copeland. If you know anything about him, he is a really big fan of juniper berry. I am as well, which is one of the main reasons I wanted to check this fragrance out, and it does not disappoint. Definitely has a lot of juniper in the opening. The other thing about this fragrance that really sticks out on my skin is the myrrh accord. I found out recently that myrrh, for whatever reason, really blasts off of my skin. Now, I personally really like the smell of myrrh, so that's a good thing for me. That may not be a good thing for everybody. Myrrh is kind of one of those notes that is not something that's gonna attract everyone, but I really like the way it smells, and the myrrh in this fragrance, it's just blast off of my skin. So that's almost the only other thing I get in terms of being able to pick out anything particularly, but there's a lot going on with this fragrance. It's very complex. Like I said, it's an ode to me, it's an ode to the classic barbershop aromatic fougere with some newer sensibilities to it. Got a little bit of a booziness to it, quite a bit of sweetness as well, but it's a very nice balanced sweetness. Not super artificial or anything, and not super forward to where it can become cloying. Really interesting fragrance. Check it out if you get a chance. Second Soul from Zaharoff. All right, and finally we are on to the wear for Saturday. I went with Thameen's Carved Oud. Thameen London Carved Oud. Why did I choose this fragrance? Number one, it smells awesome. It's very similar to Tom Ford's Oud Wood. However, This has sat on my shelf for a little bit. I'm starting to pick out actually a lot more differences between this and oud wood now. I'm almost getting kind of like a very light candied sweetness to this that I don't pick up in oud wood during the opening of this fragrance. So I think it's starting to mature a little bit, and I'm starting to pick out notes that are, weren't as apparent to me at first when I first got the fragrance. Some of the featured notes in this are cypriol, cypress, cardamom, South Indian oud, patchouli, iris, labdanum, sandalwood, and vanilla. The patchouli really comes out in this fragrance when you really start to get into the dry down, so that's one of the other things that I think separates it from oud wood. Why did I wear this fragrance? Number one, I haven't worn it in a while and I just wanted to wear it. Number two, what did I do on Saturday? I went to an event at my local Neiman Marcus being held by the fragrance house The Harmonist, and they actually put on a masterclass and kind of went through the motivation for the house, talked about the founder, talked about the perfumer, and featured 6 fragrances where they actually paired it with some food selections. It's a very holistic house apparently, kind of a yin and yang, kind of spiritual kind of house. So they also had like stones they gave me and said, this is a motivation for this particular fragrance. And that's pretty much it in a nutshell. So this was Saturday's Wear, Thameen London's Carved Oud. Alright guys, that's it. That was another weekly fragrance rotation. We'll be doing this again. Like I said, I don't think I'm going to be doing this every week for a variety of reasons, but I don't know. I might do another one next week. We'll see. But I'll see you in the next episode of the weekly fragrance rotation from the Fragrance Well. Remember to be well and smell well, and I'll see you again. Have a great day.